Okay, thank you so much, Udesh. So yeah, so we'll start with the demo session. And what is your understanding on data and data analytics, everyone? So what is your understanding on data and data analytics, or the data scientist? What is your understanding? Let me know. So how this exactly the data works in the industry?
Ma'am, can I answer? Akash this side.
Yes, Akash, you can answer.
So, ma'am, I believe that raw data is available somewhere in some
Mhm.
repository. Now,
Okay.
the job of data analytics is to make meaningful uh, patterns, charts, something out of this raw data, which is no use of anybody. So I believe making a lot of experiments of that raw data and finding out some conclusions from raw data is job of data scientist, is what I understand.
Perfect. So suppose we'll take here, we'll consider. So anyone, any other answers? What is data and what is data
Ma'am, may
analytics?
I?
Yes, yes, you can.
Ma'am, the data analyst means analyze the raw data and convert it into a meaningful data by creating a dashboard.
Perfect, perfect. So for this, what are the tools and technologies they'll be using?
A Power BI,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Tableau.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So you have a little brief introductions of the data, and I'll explain you how exactly the data comes to the business, right? So this is very important. As a data analyst profession, we have to understand how data flows to the business, right? So suppose take an example. You are working with the organization and it is of new business, okay? New entity has been established, and you have to understand here, this is the data is nothing but it is a information, okay? What is data? Data is nothing but data is a information, and it is divided into two categories. One is qualitative and another one is quantitative. Qualitative can be called as a categorical data, and quantitative can be called as numerical data. So here in this category, so we will be divided into three kinds. One is nominal data, ordinary data, and Boolean data. So whereas the numerical data has been divided into two types, one is discrete and continuous. So this is actually the data and its meaning. So coming to the data analytics. Analytics is nothing but, as you all told, so the conversion of this raw data into a meaningful insights by using various tools and technologies. So the tools and technologies comes here. You should be proficient with spreadsheet Excel. You should be proficient with programming language, the libraries, which is assigned for the data analytics. And you should be proficient with MySQL to handle the databases, and you should be proficient with the Power BI or Tableau or AWS QuickSight, any of the visualization tools, right? So, and also you should be proficient with any one of the cloud platform services. So these all helps you to become a data analytics. The comprehension of all the tools and technology helps us to become a perfect data analyst, so that we can visualize, we can analyze the data, we can create insights and reports and documentations, everything with it, right? So these are the things. So for an example, this is a new business, or we can take it as a store. A new store has been established. Okay. So this is the new store which is established. Fine. New store. And now the customers will come to this store. Okay. You can tell that this is a customer who will be purchasing, right? Who will be purchasing from the new store. Maybe they are offering here let us take it as a bicycle or any other companies, like product based company like Amazon, Flipkart, or else the accessories like Nike, whatever it might be, right? So here the customer comes to the store, And before purchasing, so he wants to purchase something. So he wants to do something, purchase over here. So point of sales. So what is this point of sales basically? During the point sales, so this store, what they do, they collect all the information of the customer. Customer name, age, gender, location, product, quantity, price, category, locations, where he is from, all the things and lot many more. So whatever the information they needed, they'll be collecting all the information from the customer. The process of collecting the information from the customer is known as point of sale. During the point of sale, the organization, they'll collect the informations of the customers. Okay. So once they are done with this in collection of the information, what they do, they will process with the billing and then send the customer back. So this is the one scenario. So somehow in day-to-day basis, there will be hundreds of data which is collected from the store. So now the part is where they'll store, right? So it might be coming from, so not only the source is this one, the source of getting the data is many. So it might be from the social medias, it might be from the external sources, right? So all these things. But basically, the source of getting data is the humans, the customers of the organizations only. So from them they'll get. So where this organization, where this store will store the data. So they may store it in a Excel file. They may save it in a PDF format. They may store it in any other JSON or XML. So any other files, right? So they may store it. So the way of storing the data is known as data mart. So here they will be storing in the form of, suppose, all the product details in the one format and all the sales in the one format and all the product categories in the one format, product subcategories in another format. So like this, he'll be saving all the things in a different file system. So this is called as a file system. What it is a file systems. File system of storing data and it can be called as data marts. Data marts. Okay. So this is the one of the thing, and it is a traditional form. Data mart, and this is traditional form. Okay. And now what happens? Day by day passes. So this organization, the data will be storing in a large form. So the data are storing in the large forms and they are not getting enough spaces to store the data. So what they do, and there is a disadvantages of file system as well. So if in case I'm storing in the desktops and I lost the laptop or I lost the desktop or uh, the computer or the source hard disk has some problem and it's not opening. So I lost the data. So the new business, what they do, they'll be in the dilemma that there will be a loss from the data, right? So for that, to avoid the misuse of the data or loss of the data or any other activities related to losing of the data, it might be the uncertainties, right, caused in the organization if suddenly due to the circuits, if it the fires has been done. So what happens? So the entire laptops and the entire office data will be collapsed. The similar way, the second one, due to the rain, if in case in the future uncertainty, there is a loss of data if you maintain it in a file systems, right? So why the cloud? Here the cloud we have to learn because these are on-premises data. So whatever we are seeing here, the file systems, this is all our on-premises. On-premises storing of the data. So this on-premises has to be converted to the cloud services where I can store all the data in the cloud platform. So what I can do, so here the process of converting the on-premises or the process of transforming of the data from on-premises to cloud environment is known as data migrations. So you have to understand the terminologies over here. In interview, they'll ask you the meaning of that only. So what is your understanding on data migration? What is your understanding on data normalizations? All those things are very important. So this is called as data migration. Right? What is data migration? Transforming of the data from on-premises to cloud environment is known as data migration, and this is a cloud environment. Cloud environment, right? So similar way. So here what you can do, you can see here, basically you got all the data and stored in the file system, and you want to convert all these to this the cloud environment. What you'll be doing here, so again you have to dump all the data directly to the cloud environment. As we know that cloud is pay as you go model, so you have to pay for every services whatever you use, right? It might be on yearly basis, or it might be the hourly basis charges will be given to you. If you use this many hours, this is the cost of the service what we provide. So why we need to use the cloud? Basically, we know that it is very expensive to use, and we know that this file system is free of cost. If you have one of the laptop, you can store it all the data in one, right? So but if there is any problem in the laptop, then you'll be losing everything. So this is the risk what we can face in the file system. As it is, even though it is a free of cost, but still it is not secure. So here what happens, if in case there is a uncertainties also, the cloud environment, what does they do? They'll be having a backup of the base data, the source data, right? So whenever the organization lose the data from the cloud, so what they do, so they will help us to retrieve with the source data, because they'll be having the duplicate copy of the data whatever we store it. So they'll store it in somewhere other as a duplicate, and if we lose, if we delete something, or if we lose the data, so then we can retrieve it very easily from the cloud environment. So what are the cloud environments we have? So the top three are Azure, GCP, and also the AWS. So these three are the cloud environments what they are providing the cloud-based services for the entire world, right? So these are the things. So here, what is the first step in the cloud environment? So here we'll be having the terminologies called data warehouse, right? So here we'll be having the terminologies that is called as data warehouse, data lake, right? So these are the two terminologies. So in this particular curriculum, we are using the data warehouse of MySQL. Okay. So the MySQL is one of the data warehouse platform where I can store the data in a structured way. Okay. So here we'll be using MySQL. Okay. MySQL database. So what we will be doing, we will be migrating. Migration, how does it work? Entire data will be added here, direct dump. What is this called? Direct dump. So here we'll be using the MySQL. Let me write it off. MySQL, and every data will be from the on-premises. From on-premises, all data set will be directly dumped to cloud environment. It is also called as staging layer. Okay, it is also called as a staging layer. and we can call this as layer 1. You get it? So this is the layer 1. So every data will be transformed, and then will be storing all the data in the MySQL. Why MySQL? Because this is one of the popular database used throughout the world, right? So if you proficient with these things, so then it will be easier to opt to the other data warehouses. So here MySQL is the one tool we are using here. It is a software as a services. Okay. So the next is, once it is done, what happens? So who will do the direct dump from the on-premises to the cloud environment? So here we have to understand the role of the data analyst, data engineer. Data engineer, he will be doing this particular roles and responsibility. What are the skills he should be having? He should be proficient with ETL tool, cloud environment, should be having the prior experience working with the cloud and databases. It might be MySQL, it might be the Snowflake. There are many, right? Snowflake, all those things. So this is basically the thing what we do here. So the role of data engineering is converting all the on-premises data into a cloud environment. So he'll be doing the migration, and the light data, that is of ETL, he'll be performing. So using the various ETL tool, it might be Tableau Prep Builder or Power Query, or else other AWS Glue, and also we have a Google transformation tool as well, the ETL. So by using all those things, he'll be converting the on-premises data to the cloud environment. Okay, so this is the one, and the next is, once it is stored, so the data will be stored like this. So how it will be showing? So this is the layer 2 after cleaning. But here there will be a business requirement to store the data in a cloud. So there will be a business requirement. According to that only, data engineer will be applying the logic for the data, and he'll be storing again back here. So this is what the structured way. Okay. Here, the data engineer will start storing all the data according to the business requirements given to them. Okay, so here it is a cloud environment again. Okay, so now once it is stored, so what happens next? So this data, this stored data in the organization will be used by the data analyst and also the data scientist. For what they'll be using? They'll be using it for descriptive and also the diagnostic analysis. So here we can take it as descriptive analysis. Who will do this? This is done by data analyst. So what are the tools he should be proficient with? Excel, Python, Power BI or Tableau, any cloud, any one cloud environment related to the analytics domain, and then or GitHub, right? So all these things he should be proficient with. And MySQL and MySQL. Okay. So these are the things he should be proficient with. And when it comes to the data scientist, priority predictive. So here they should be having the machine learning knowledge and data structure and algorithms, DSA, and also should be having little knowledge into the AI and also the statistics. Okay, so these are the things, the tools and technologies they should be proficient with. Actually, this is the entire data structure, the data architecture, how exactly it works in the organizations. Right. So any doubts in this so far? Akash, Manideep, Preeti, Sai, Soumya.
Madam, can you give a rough overview of everything again in just one go?
Yeah. So here, the store, the newly established store we have. So then it might be any some of the product-based company or access the customer-based company or whatever it might be. So the main motto of them is they'll be providing the services. In return, they'll be collecting the customers' details. So they're collecting the customer details, whether it might be age, name, gender, location, product details, and also the product information along with the customer information every organization will collect. Why? Because data is an asset for them. Okay, so once they collect all the data from the customer, they'll process with the sales. In the sense, again, they start with the billing and then they'll process with the sales or a purchase of the particular product. So this is how the collection works. The collection of the information works initially at the initial stage of the business. So this is a newly established firm, and day by day they were like storing all the data in a file system. It might be Excel, CSV file, JSON, or else Google Sheets, whatever it might be. They used to save all the things in a different kind. Like suppose all the sales data they were saving it in one Excel file, and about the customer they were saving in the one more file. About the product they were used to save it in another file system. So like that they are using the categories of the sales, customer, product and product category. So what they will do, so they are saving in the different files. So this is called as file system of data storing and also called as a data marts. And here what happens again, so once the data are there and day by day the sales of this particular company will be increasing. Okay, so as sales increases, this data also increases to them. So what the company is facing, the problem is they are facing the loss of data. So sometimes there is a malwares and also there is a scarcity of losing the data and lack of authentications and also lack of trust of the employees. What happens, the owner of the company, he wants to upgrade his on-premises data set to the cloud environment. So what he'll do, he'll migrate his all data to the cloud environment. Okay, so once he do the things, he'll be providing the requirement to the business or to the data engineer. So you want to structure me the data in the cloud, so where I can understand it. So according to my requirement, you have to form the data, right? So this is the large data set. Okay, this is the direct dump what we make. So this is direct dump what we make, and here he'll be creating a batch to store the data. And here whatever the data we have, so in the direct dump, so that will be divided into a different table according to the requirement given by the organization. So here he says that all the customer data has to be filled, and again the product data, and again product category, right? So again here the sales information and about the territory, that is of location. So it should be stored in this way. So I can apply the logic over here and I can fetch the query results by writing the queries, right? I can fetch the information by writing the queries. I can join all these tables if it is in a clean way. So what this data engineer will do, so according to the business requirement, he will start cleaning. He'll start creating the tables and adding all the data according to the requirement given by the businesses, right? So this is the one the data engineer will be doing. So once it is done, so what is this process called? In the sense, this is the large data set. Every data is stored in one file here in the cloud. So what he'll be doing, he'll be creating a separate tables. What is this called? Data normalization. What is normalization? Converting the huge data into a smaller pieces for better understanding and to understand the flow of work. So these are the things he'll be doing. So once it is done, what happens? Here it will be stored in a structured way. And once it is stored, this data analyst and data scientist will use that particular processed data. So this is the processed data done by the ETL process by data engineer. So what it will be used again by the data analyst and also the data scientist, right? So they use this particular data available in the business for their further analysis. And also, so here data analyst will be using what Excel, Python, Power BI, Tableau, Cloud, and MySQL, and GitHub. It's a version control tool. And here for data scientist, he should be having a proficient with ML, DSA, and also the AI and strong knowledge of the statistics. This all helps to predict the future, right? So these are the things. Right? Any doubts?
No, ma'am, not up to here.
Okay, perfect. So I think we have latest joined with Uma Ramya. So hi Uma.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi. Yeah.
Can I have your quick introduction?
Yeah, basically, I'm from ERP background. I have 2 year experience with WMS warehouse management systems. I have worked on JDA software with Blue Yonder, and I would like
Okay.
to learn Power BI. Hello,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Hello.
Yeah, I have 2 year experience with ERP, JDA, and Blue Yonder software. Uh,
Okay.
I, yeah, I would like to learn with Power BI how the data visualization works, and that will be helpful for me. So I would like to join this class for
Okay,
learning.
perfect. So we'll
Thank you.
be having from today and like till Thursday. So we'll be having like demo sessions of 4 days. So you can attend.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll discuss every day on one topic so that you'll be having an idea of how exactly it is. So I'll just train you regarding that. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
So yeah. Then anyone has any doubts? Akash, Manideep, Preeti, Samya, Telgun, Manisha. So hi Manisha. So the timings of the classes will be Monday to Friday. It starts with 6:30 to 7:30. Okay, so yeah. So and the duration of the course will be like 45 to 60 days. So yeah.
Hi, I have a question.
Mhm.
I'm not from IT background, so if like I have a like right now I cannot ask any question because this is I feel like it's just a structure, right? So if
Yes.
I have in future if I have like small problems, so how can you help me like that?
Problems in the sense?
Suppose I if I need like some extra support or like that, how can I ask the questions through the classes or what? How, I mean, how it's going?
So see, it will be same like this only. So it will be an interactive session. You can break in between if you have any doubts. So you can ask me. So I'll help you out with the doubts and the queries, whatever you have regarding the curriculum. So we can discuss on it.
Okay, and you guys, like we can do the projects also in these classes also. Like
Yes,
you guys,
exactly. So I'll explain you in the tomorrow's demo session what are the projects we are going to cover and how we'll be deploying that to in the Git and GitHub. So also we'll be creating here the portfolio where you can use the website. Also we can build on the whatever the things we do, the projects, right? So all those things will help us to create our portfolio, and you can add all those things in your resume, and you'll be having a great opportunity for that as well.
Do we get any materials also to study about, like, if after the classes or something like that?
Yes, yes, you'll be getting.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh, Ma'am, Akash this side.
Yes,
So, for
Akash.
example, you just told us that 6:30 to 7:30 would be class, and there would be total 45 to 60 days of class, right? So,
Yes.
my question is, ma'am, after the class, if I want to revise something, so there is any recording or no recording will not be there?
Obviously, obviously there will be a recordings given to you. So I think from the day one, from today only, they will be storing all the recordings. Like this will be provided to you once you make a registration. Will be given by the DurgaSoft management with the drive access. It will be having the duration. I think more than 1 year. It will be having an access to you.
Right, ma'am. And second question is, ma'am, I was just going through the curriculum part. So in curriculum, na, I can see Excel, I can see MySQL, I can see Power BI, but only fundamentals of Python is available. So
Yes.
only fundamentals means that suppose if I want to learn more about Python, so this course is only giving me the basics of Python, right? If I want to study Python in details for the same thing, I need to
No.
learn some other course.
Yes, no, it depends actually. So for data analytics, no need of learning entire Python for data analytics. Okay. So if you are going with the machine learning or anything for the data scientist job role, then you should be learn entire Python with the machine learning things and also the AI. There TensorFlow and there are many other particular libraries which is based out of there, so you have to concentrate on it. But for this data analytics, we should be understanding like more proficient with the four libraries. One is for data cleaning, that is of pandas, and for data manipulation we'll be using here pandas library. And again, for numerical calculation and also the mathematical calculation and statistical calculations, we have to learn with the NumPy library. And then for visualization in the Python, so we have to read with Metaplot library and also the Seaborn. So these are the four libraries which is meant for data analytics only. So we have to learn all these four. I think that has been mentioned in the syllabus.
Yes, ma'am, I have seen that, but my question is little bit deeper here. So, yes, I understand that these four libraries are there in the curriculum: NumPy, Panda, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. So,
Yes.
my question is like you are explaining Excel in very detail. So, for example, I can do all these functions. I can use all these things in via Python also. So all these things
Yes.
which I am able to do in Excel, can I do the same thing with these four libraries only?
Exactly, exactly. You can perform all those things in four libraries.
So you mean to say all the if conditions, all the lookups, all the pivots and everything I can perform with using only these four libraries.
Also, there is sequence and string manipulations and the logical conditions, operations. I think also that basics also mentioned in that syllabus. We'll be covering all these things first, the basic part, whatever necessary, and at last we'll be taking that for the libraries.
So you mean to say these four libraries are sufficient so that I can perform all the Excel functions via Python, right?
Yeah, along with that, the basic concepts as well. So some of them there are you can perform everything like by using NumPy. Will be performing only the calculations. If in case you want to go with the conditional statements, we have to go with if statements, elif statements, and also the else statements. So these three are the different concepts which can't be performed over here in the pandas and the NumPy library. So that's why we have to learn the basic concepts as well in it.
Okay, so if condition requires to learn some other library, is it you want to say?
It's not a library, it's a concepts of the Python.
Okay, concepts of the Python. Perfect. Right, ma'am. That's all my question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So yes, ma'am, you can proceed.
Yeah. So anyone, any other doubts or questions?
Ma'am, what kind of projects we will do during the 45 or 60 days?
So we'll be doing here the HR related projects and finance related projects, banking projects, and healthcare sector. So all the domains will be taking one or the other. So as soon as we will be covering the one single domain, if the Excel part is completed, all the things. So what we will do, we'll take some of the data set from a product base like Amazon or Flipkart, whatever the data from the web scraping. So we will get the data from the source of the website only. So once we have the data, so we can use that for creation of Excel dashboard first, right? So we will create with the Excel dashboard and we will deploy that to the Git or GitHub, the project, the portfolio of the research and RD, whatever you have done. So everything we can show it in the portfolio form. So I'll teach you and I'll guide you how to make and how to create that. Like in tomorrow, I'll just show you how exactly the project part works. So yeah.
Okay, and ma'am, as you defined that there are cloud services, so we will learn cloud services also.
Yes, we'll be using here AWS. So you should be having the free tier account of AWS so that we can perform in the analytics. There is AWS Glue for perform as a ETL tool. Athena, where we can write the SQL queries, and also AWS S3. So to store the data, and Redshift, we have the warehouse, right? So all these tools, which is dedicated for the data analyst only. So we have to have an understanding of how exactly it works. So yeah, we will be learning out here.
Right, ma'am. Right. Thank you, ma'am.
Yep, thank you. Fine then. So we'll connect tomorrow, everyone. So sharp 7 a.m. IST. So thank you so much, Akash, Maniti, Preeti, Sai, Soumya, Manisha, and Udesh, Uma, Ramya. So thank you so much. We'll connect tomorrow, right?